Welcome back to another year of opinions. Oh, I know. You don't like opinions. Just the same as you tell people with a voice, oh, your political opinion doesn't matter, or, oh, you shouldn't talk about politics. Well, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to quickly point out that this year has been a bit shit. For people in general, not any political side, not any political country, yes, particular country, in fact. Yes, that's the one. I mean, there was a guy who ran on a platform of racism, bigotry, child molestation, what's the other things? A horse, the net neutrality, that's up for question. Why that had to even be questioned, whether we should have net neutrality or not, well, I'll tell you, if Disney are getting questioned about being a monopoly, yet Comcast and the such having their own monopoly over customers, well, I don't understand that. But let's not talk about that shit. Let's talk about the smeared treacle that is on the walls of Steam. Since about June, when Steam Direct came into effect, over 1,000 games have passed on through the system. That's a lot of games. I didn't even receive that many games in keys, or buying that many games, or anything. I barely made 500 on my list of, yes, things, and I couldn't even play all of them. So how the fuck Steam just goes, way, baffles me. I guess they just go, nah, fuck it, you paid $100, you can get on. Whether you're smeared shite on the wall, or whether you're golden brilliance, like some of the brilliance on tomorrow's list. Ten. Do you know what is definitive about the Onion Knights? It is definitively one of the worst piles of shit that I could have played this year, which is a hard sell. I played a lot of games this year. More games than I've played all my life, which is a lot. Maybe the reason I don't like the Onion Knights Definitive Edition is that it is a mobile phone game ported onto Steam, and the microtransactions were taken out, but there was no supplement for the gameplay. Currently, at the time of whenever I wrote my script, the Onion Knights Definitive Edition is a meager $9.99 on Steam. Yep. That's for the full game. However, if you have an iOS phone, well, a phone that runs iOS or Android, you can pick the game up for free and then possibly pay one of the many microtransactions, of which range from 89 pence all the way up to, oh dearie me, £68.51 per item. The Onion Knights Definitive Edition is so definitive that it was decided that taking part of the game out makes it definitive. 9. Okay, I know Adventure Capitalist is a very tongue-in-cheek kind of thing about capitalism and it's actually free and I should be more lenient on it. But here's the thing, I'm going to I'm going to paraphrase Dara O'Brien from, I think it's Charlie Brooker's Game Wipe. Something from 10 years ago. It was before you were born. A game is the only media that will stop you progressing. A book doesn't close and make you start again from the beginning. A movie doesn't stop and question you halfway through and ask you if you're following the plot points. A game is the only medium that does entertain you while also challenging you. Adventure Capitalist is the type of game that you hear people say, "Oh, but you only waste 5 minutes playing it." I don't want to waste 5 minutes. As you'll see in tomorrow's list, there are plenty of games that I'll happily say to anyone, "I'll be there in a minute," or "I'll go to bed in a minute." Those are the type of games that you should play, not games that make you go, "Oh, I'm a bit bored, I should really play something that wastes 5 minutes. Play good games. Play games, not that. 8. So I'm going to address the big-titted wallaby on the screen right now. Why is it a loading screen? Because when I tried to record footage for this game, it just ended up crashing on the load screen. Again and again and again. But this is the perfect summation of what needs to be said. Steam decreed House Party as a porn game and took it off Steam. The developer said it wasn't a porn game. I played the game a couple months ago after it was put back on Steam, and the goal of the game is to get a woman's breasts out. That is any porn game ever. This game is a literal pile of wank. The joke there is you can pull your penis out and wank in the middle of a party in front of everyone. It's a funny joke if you can actually see the fucking game. 7. Oh, Bethesda, how I knew ye. So, Fallout Shelter. I know, free to play, but it has microtransactions. For fuck's sakes, why do we need microtransactions? Bethesda are a multi-million-dollar company. They could sell millions off of the legacy that is Fallout. They could sell millions off of Skyrim. They have fucking sold Skyrim 13 times to one person. I guarantee that. Jim Sterling's bought it a bunch of times. Nerdcubed bought it a bunch of times. A lot of people bought that same game a bunch of times. So why do they need to make a free-to-play game for no good reason? I ask ye of merry men or some bollocks. I don't know. I'm on painkillers at this point. I'm out of it. If we were talking about Fallout 4, it would be middling on the good games. We're talking about Fallout Shelter, so it's pretty high up on the shitty games, considering it has microtransactions of which go up to $100, I think. I think it's $100. Might be £100. Who knows? 6. Okay, Takeoff isn't an awful game. There's a couple problems with it that I want to address. It is, for lack of a better term, one of the worst looking, feeling, everything games. Okay, it's a mobile phone game ported onto Steam. They ask for money, but there's nothing being done to the game. When I booted it up, it was in 4.3. The bars at the side are the problem. The game itself, the menu, looks like any shitty management game that I could buy back in 2007 out of a unlisted store that I'm not going to mention unless they pay me. So, yeah, I just don't get the point in Takeoff. It's barely a simulator. It doesn't feel too great. It's ugh. It is that. It's meh. Luckily, it didn't have any microtransactions, otherwise it would be much further fucking down. 5. I'll put as much into this synopsis of inertia as the developer put into making the fucking game. What a massive pile of fucking shite. Yeah, that fits. 4. Okay, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Furudashi Drift Cybersport is, for lack of a better term, just the worst idea ever. The car handling, the physics, are akin to Grand Theft Auto 4. Yeah, the crap one. And it's an online, primarily, it's an online-only experience. You can drive around a track, but the physics are so fucking horrible that you'd go, no. They ask for real money, and then the icing on the cake, after paying money for the game, they ask for more money for premium skins. Or, as they put it, premium cars. I don't know if they improve the handling, but if they do, wow. Wow. Okay, so the game is already behind a paywall, which is fine. That's, you pay money, you get something. But to possibly have better handling, real handling, behind another paywall, that just seems fucking awful. And I don't know if that's true, but that's what I can presume. Either that or it's just, here's a skin. It's fucking awful. 3. So, hearing isn't awful. It isn't bad. It isn't the worst pile of shit on the list. But it goes high up because what I was saying about Takeoff applies here. The game doesn't look that great. Now, yeah, sure, I didn't play it on the highest graphical settings, but even then, the game didn't run that well. On top of that, the world was brown on brown with extra brown and a little bit extra brown on top of that. Which is just, it's fighting Call of Duty for the worst color palette ever. Not to mention the fucking alien thing that I found. And the whole gameplay is walk around the map. Find the thing that's making noise. Once you've done that, find more. Okay, good. Bye. Wait, what? That's a game now? I don't like walking simulators because of that. They are boring and uninteresting, and this one doesn't even really try to tell a story. It just goes, alright, here's a world, walk around, find the alien, alright, bye. The fuck's the point in that? 2. One. Can you guess what it is? Clash of Robots takes first place, not because it's easy to find on the Android store with microtransactions, but because you can pay for this pile of shit on Steam. It's free on Android. And yet on Steam you can still find microtransactions ranging from £3.78 to a whopping £75.83. I don't have any words for how shit that is. Because fucking look at it. It doesn't look too good, so there goes visually interesting. It's not that great on gameplay. The whole robot idea is done better by a TV show in Britain. Everything about Clash of Robots is disappointing. Then they put microtransactions and it's just disappointing, encased in bullshit, encased in boring bullshit. I don't know what to say about Clash of Robots without saying, which you don't want after this fucking year. This year I've played some of the worst games of my life. And I didn't even put Infamous Second Son on this list. And I fucking hated that. I guess you could say this year had a kind of scheme going for it. Everything had well, not everything, but most things had microtransactions, or it was visually boring, or it was just shit, or it was just... yeah, that's about it. That's the 3 criteria that I judged this whole thing on. If your game has loot boxes or microtransactions, just guess that it's going in the worst games of the year list. Most of the time. Because most of those games are designed with that in mind. As I say, most of them. Some just go, alright, fine, don't care. We'll just give these as optional things. And yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm not excusing those that say, oh, but microtransactions are optional. They're not fucking optional in some games. But some developers have openly said that the game isn't designed to have microtransactions as the leading point. And from what I've played, some of those games are right. Well, some of those developers are right about what they've made. They don't include gratuitous bullshit in them. Anyway, Tomorrow, good games. Fucking phenomenal games. Tim Schafer is sexy. That's a spoiler and something that shouldn't be said out loud, but it's true. It is true.